Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? Love Island All Stars, and we are now on episode 16. Why sir, it was an episode of episodes. Let me just tell you what did. Secret came out. The secret will out, and it came all the way out. I'm not a fucking singer, but I just had to give you a little ditty. Anyway, before I go any further and get right into this episode like I really want to do, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so when you know I'm on and doing videos. And let's talk about this episode, shall we? So basically everybody's grouped off after the Snug Marry Pie debacle. And basically Anton was talking to Tom and basically saying to Tom that Tom married Georgia S and Georgia S married him. So why is Tom not pursuing that? And that would have been like, you know, prime time for Tom to turn around and say, actually, here's what happened. This is what's going on. Let me give you the dealio. Did he? Oh, no, he did not. That man squeezed out the dirtiest lie. The dirtiest lie. Basically told Anton that if it was going to happen, it would have happened on the outside. I was like, my guy. Do you think we're all stupid up in this place? Do you not realise why these people are asking you certain questions at this moment in time? Because they see this shit with their own eyes as to what is going on with you and Georgia S. The chatty with you and Georgia S. Everybody can see what the hell is going on, but nobody's asked you directly yet. So now at that point, I was kind of like, you know what? Tom, you deserve everything you get from this. Like, seriously, from Molly, from Callum, whoever else, you deserve everything that you get from that, because you had a prime opportunity to tell people what's going on. You had the prime opportunity to lift yourself up, told Molly what was going on, and then told Callum what was going on. So then as the day moves on, you see Libby thanking the girls about supporting her, and Georgia H did agree that Mitch shouldn't have pied Libby at the end of the day. It was Mitch's choice. Everybody had their choice of who they were going to pie. And everybody had their reasons as to who they were going to pie. At the end of the day, yeah, Mitch pied Libby for a stupid reason. He tried to say Libby stressed him. Libby didn't stress. He stressed himself. So all I'm going to say is, Georgia H, be careful, man, because now she's wondering, should I even get to know Mitch because of this situation? You know that's where you was going to go. I don't understand it because, like, okay, Mitch is a good-looking lad. Mitch is a good-looking lad. But beyond that, there's no substance to him for me. At the end of the day, there's no substance to him. So basically, Mitch is bitching about the fact that he got pied and it was all a cop-out and all this, that and the other. And I'm like, you, my guy, take no responsibility for your actions and how you make other people feel, because you was in a lot of mess, not just with Libby. Libby was the fucking collateral damage of your mess, Mitch. So you was in a lot of mess in other people's business, making it your business. But now you're pissed because all the girls, except for a couple, decided to pie your ass. That's all I can say. They had a choice, they took it, and that's what they did. So then you have Hannah debating on whether things are going to go forward with Tyler, basically for her, because she's getting concerned about this situation that's come up with mixed signals and believing Tyler must be playing the game. Now, this is my thing. You can have all these thoughts going around in your brain and these chats that you're having, but you're just having them with the girls. Go to the source. Talk to the source and get an informed decision from them as to what the fuck you think is going on at the end of the day. Don't just think it's safe to the girls and then don't talk about it to the person that you're talking about. It don't make no sense to me. And they do this quite a lot in this villa. They do it a lot. So then you got Georgia S moaning about the fact that she's not sure if she should have a convo with Toby. I'm like, leave it. At the end of the day, my girl, after he did whatever it is that he did, he turned around and said to you, "We'll talk about it." You said you are not talking to him, so keep to your rule. You're not talking to him. Why are you gonna go talk to him? Because at the end of the day, all she does is double down on her bullshit. That's what Georgia S does. And furthermore, during this episode, what comes out is that Georgia S is an expert in gaslighting techniques, like proper gaslighting techniques. So yeah, leave Toby well enough out of your double dipping swinery, because he don't need it. He don't need to hear your rubbish. Keep it pushing, Georgia S. So you see Georgia H and Mitch have a discussion, and basically Georgia H is pulling up Mitch in regards to the fact that he pied Libby, because she didn't think that he should have pied Libby at the end of the day, because all she did was like you. Then Mitch says he feels bad, but she made me feel bad. And this is what I'm like. Mitch, my guy, pull your balls out of your hands and be a man for once, and actually accept responsibility for what the fuck you did. Because all Libby did was put in boundaries of what she was not going to accept from you and call you out on your behaviour. But yet you want to make it about yourself again and make it about how you're hard done by. And Georgia H wants that. Georgia H really wants that. I can't even say against Anton, because sometimes Anton's a little bit of a wet blanket, but you know what I mean. So then you see Josh and Sophie have a conversation, and basically Josh is it's looking like, you know, that Sophie's going to be swinging Josh's way and probably telling Chris that she's going to literally lock her sights onto Josh, and that's where she wants to be. I always keep saying, as I said through these episodes, your preference does not always necessarily prefer you. And that is with Chris with Sophie, and I think it's also going to be the same with Sophie and Josh, because Josh is a little bit of a silver tongue. He has a little bit of a Midas touch. Yeah, he doesn't see Sophie as his one and only, and that will come up once we get to the point where, you know, new bombshells are going to come in at some point, and that will come up. Because Josh don't have eyes just for one person. He likes to play the sentimental type of person to get you drawn in and be all about him. But he ain't all about you. So then again, we see the whole debacle. Georgia S pulling Tom for another motherfucking chat. I mean, how many chats do you need with this man? How many chats do you need with this man? And it's not just Callum noticing now, is Anton and Tyler, and them three are having a chat, and basically everyone's questioning their shit now, because as Georgia S is walking over with Tom to the fire pit or wherever it is they go and sit down, she's saying, "Oh, I feel like everybody's watching us." Yeah, because they're questioning your motives. They're questioning why you have to pull this man for a chat constantly, the way in which you're doing, and you're not telling nobody else what the fuck is going on. But yet you're telling a few of the girls X, Y, and Z stories, pillow talk with Sophie and Josh. Also the fact that Tom has told Chris what happened when you were on the terrace. I'm just, do you know what? I am just completely baffled by Georgia S's behaviour, and the fact that Georgia S, you know what? I ain't even going to say nothing at this part. I'm never going to say nothing at this part, but I'll get to it because I have so much to say when it comes to the vibe party and the fuck shit that Georgia S fucking did at that party towards Molly was unbelievable. Absolutely unfucking believable. But she's slick with it. She's slick with it. She's slick with it. But we know as we're watching what game she's playing. All I'll be saying is, bring the tapes, come, wind them tapes back, press play, and let the dirt fall where it may. So with Georgia S's and Tom's conversation, it's basically Georgia S wanting to find information about how the situation is between Tom and Molly. That's all she wants to find out, because she literally in the next breath talks about how good she would be with him at the end of the day, and how mature she believes that he is, and his age wouldn't be for her. She's trying to pull for information so she could put herself in a better light for Tom to say, come on, pick me. You know us two go together. That's what she's trying to do. And I'm just like, why is nobody talked to these two people yet, man? Just to find out what the fuck is going on. Like, seriously, why has no one talked to Georgia S and Tom? And that's what's up? What's going on? Like, speak. Tell us your piece. What's happening between you two? Everybody can see that something is full on fucking developing with them. And everybody can see Georgia S keep pulling in for chats constantly. Even though she tries to deny it with Molly. Even though she tries to deny it. But we all saw it. But yet no one's talking to them. No one is talking to them. Callum is picking up and hinting. He's seeing what's happening. Yeah. But he's of the view that if Georgia S was in something a little bit serious with Tom, that she would come to him and tell him. No, my guy. No, my guy. She hasn't come to you to tell you shit. She's playing squarely in front of your motherfucking face the same way now Tom is playing squarely in front of Callum's face and in front of Molly's face at the end of the day. Yeah. Georgia S is playing a sneaky game and Tom is aiding and abetting that sneaky game. So basically the night carries on and you see Chris and Josh on the terrace. So then they look over the terrace and actually see Georgia S with Tom again. So as they sit back down, Chris is like, do you have something to tell me? And I'm like, yeah, because I noticed that they're together again. So basically Chris and Josh have this conversation. Chris tells Josh exactly what Tom has said to him in regards to the terror situation with Georgia S. And then Josh tells Chris what Sophie has said to him when they had their little pillow talk. Keyword was, Sophie asked Josh, please don't repeat that to anybody. Please don't repeat it to Callum at the end of the day. That's what she asked him to do. But it got to a point when them two were having their conversation that they both said, we need to tell Callum. Because it is literally from what you're saying to me and from what Chris is saying to Josh, we need to tell Callum what's going on with Georgia S at the end of the day so he can then have those conversations with Georgia S. Because it is a horrible situation where everybody around you knows your business, but you don't know what the fuck is going on. You don't know what is going on at all in the slightest. So yes, I do rate Josh and Chris for actually going and then pulling Callum to the side and basically have that chat with him and lay it all down. So Chris tells Callum that Georgia S, the rumour is that Georgia S has gone around telling people that she doesn't feel like there's the sexual tension or that sexualness between them both. And then Callum turns around straight away and says, well, she's never said that to me. And I'm like, my guy, just listen. Just listen. Don't get defensive. Just listen to the information that's being provided to you right now at the end of the day, because these two lads have nothing to lose in regards to them telling you this information. They have nothing to gain from it either. Basically, they're letting you in the loop as to what it is. The girl that you really want to lay your shit down for is playing in your damn face. That's what it is at the end of the day. They're being your boys by letting you know this girl's fucking you over. That's all they were doing. That's all they were doing. So Joss tells him that Georgia S has said that she can't see herself sleeping with Callum. And I have to say, Callum looked crushed. Callum looked crushed at information, because it was the information basically that Sophie had told Josh in regards to the chat that Sophie and Georgia S had on the fucking terrace when she was talking about Callum. So Callum asked if that was before the hideaway or after, but nobody really knows, and Callum is deducing that it was probably after the hideaway because he's thinking it was the terrace talk. And I'm like, no, my love, no, dear Callum. It was before the hideaway. Before she got in that, she knew she was going to go in that hideaway with you. This is what she was saying to Sophie. But yet she got in the hideaway with you and completely changed up the game. So yes, it was before the hideaway, Callum. Callum was angry. He was angry at first and basically saying that he doesn't like people that lie. At the end of the day, come tell me the truth. I'll be gravy about it. But he doesn't like liars, so I know that he's then gonna pick up Georgia S and have the conversation with her. So basically, he turned around and said, let him finish his eggs first. So it did end on Chris telling him about the flirting and Georgia S saying that the door is still open, but not in so many words to Tom. Callum was pissed. Callum was pissed. So Callum, rightfully so, pulls Georgia S. And I'm just like, how that girl managed to talk rings around your bloody rotted ass? Like, are you thinking with your Johnson? Was Callum thinking with his Johnson at that point? Because he allowed Georgia S to talk rings around his backside, yeah, when she was asking her questions. But this girl managed to slip through so many freaking nets, yeah, besides answering a direct question, to literally tell a whole spiel, a whole story, to get him lost in that story and then put him on the fucking path that she wanted him on. I was like, Georgia S, you're good. Georgia S is good. This girl is good at fucking spinning a yarn in someone's ear to gaslight them enough to make them think that they're in the wrong. And then that conversation ended with them two lipsing off and hugging each other in the corner. I was like, Callum, are you that weak? You not question nothing. You not even want to go to Tom and question him and ask him what to go on. Boy, sir, is all we can say on that. So then as the night runs on, Chris tells Tom that had that conversation with Callum at the end of the day in regards to Georgia S and him. And basically, Tom is thinking now, I need to go Molly and chat to her. What does he do? He goes to Molly and has the conversation with her, because at the end of the motherfucking day, you should have had that conversation even before, yeah, people was gonna go and put it out to Callum. You should have had that conversation already with Molly, Tom, because now it just makes you look like you're just trying to save face. So just before that, you do see like Chris pull up Sophie in regards to the conversation that he had with Callum. And basically in a jokey manner, not Chris, Josh, in a jokey manner, Josh tries to tell Sophie that, you know what, he let the cat out of the bag. Sophie was not happy with that. Like, she really didn't want to be in drama with nobody or none of the girls. And she told him in confidence in regards to what one of the girls has said, namely Georgia S. At the end of the day, my girl, if you don't want nothing shared, don't share it. Even in pillow talk, anything goes. In pillow talk, anything goes, my love. Yes, she may have said, please don't tell Callum, or don't say anything, but at the end of the day, as he's cross-referencing things with Chris, it had to come out. So basically, Tom goes to Molly, pulls Molly to the side, and basically turns around and tells her what's going on with the fact that he had been chatting to Georgia S, and yes, it did get a little bit it did get flirtatious. So when Molly pulled him up about it, in the fact that, you know what, you should have come and told me, because I've been absolutely fine. If you wanted to get to know her, because I know you two have history, you should have done that. But at the end of the day, no one came and told me nothing. So I'm there thinking with the girls, when the girls are telling me, oh, she's pulling him all the time for chats, Tom was quick to say, we weren't going for chats all the time. She says, yeah, every time I looked around, my guy, you two are chatting. Everybody saw you two were chatting. And it was the girls that were saying to Molly, don't you think something's going on there? And Molly was like, nah, they're friends. They knew each other from way back. So, of course, they're going to chat. So she had no inkling that you were sitting there and flirting with Georgia S like the way you were flirting with Georgia S. So she then gets up and he's like, are you angry? And I'm like, Tom, come on, my dude. Come on, my dude. What did you expect? What did you really expect? Of course she's going to be freaking angry, because she's made to look like an absolute dickhead. You and Georgia S made her look like a full-on dickhead. Yes, Callum can sit there and fucking forgive Georgia S all he bloody likes, but that just makes him look like a fool too. That makes him look like a fool too, especially if they get to the point where they roll them tapes back and play out loud what the hell them two were talking about. It's gonna make him look like an even bigger fool for giving Georgia S a further chance, isn't it? No. So then the proverbial shit hits the fan, because Molly storms off and tells all the other girls what's going on in what Tom just told her. And basically saying that she had been clocking that Molly had been pulling Tom for chats, but didn't think nothing of it. Didn't think that she had feelings for Tom in that sense. So Georgia H was there trying to minimise and downplay it by trying to say, but Georgia S wanted to step back and give Tom and Molly a chance. But I said, no, Molly's right. Georgia S didn't step back. You see how Molly stepped back from Callum the time that Georgia S said she wanted to get to know Callum and they had that conversation. Molly stepped back and gave them their time together, didn't encroach, didn't pull Callum for chats, didn't do half of the shit that Georgia S was doing with Tom at the end of the day. Because actually, Molly is a girl's girl. Georgia S is not a girl's girl. She's not a girl's girl. Georgia S is out for herself and how she can better herself in a position with someone that she wants, to someone that she tepidly wants. Because that's how it is. So now, it's like a child with a shiny new toy. Molly's got the shiny new toy. Georgia S wants it. How you gonna go take the girl's ex, yeah? They've been together for 3 fucking years. That's history. With a couple of months history you and Tom had that never even got off the freaking ground because you chose Toby and it didn't work out, yeah? To 3.5 years. But yet Molly was the one who gave you grace and stepped back and allowed you to get on with the person that she'd been with for 3.5 years and it didn't work out. But yet you couldn't give Molly, Georgia S couldn't give Molly the same grace to step back and let her do what she's got to do with Tom. Georgia S is a selfish person. She's not a girl's girl. She's very hella selfish and hella sneaky and snaky about it. And the fact that Georgia S can't see this tells you exactly what type of character this girl is. So you see Molly storm off, right too. She's pissed, goes into the room. Some of the girls follow her. So I can't remember who it is, but they go over and tell Georgia S what the dealio is, yeah. So they all go into the room, Georgia S as well, and they all decide to have a girls group chat at the end of the day. Georgia S is smarmy. It's smarmy because even before she walked up into that room to have that girls chat, my girl was already and I'm like, yeah, because you sorted your shit out with Callum already. You was able to convince him with your lies, yeah, with your lies and your pretty batting of your eyelashes, that you know what, there ain't nothing to worry about. Molly, not so easy to convince. Not so easy to convince when you've done the dirty behind her back. So Molly really did not want to hear what Georgia S had to say. So basically, Molly told her point blank, the problem is if you've been pulling Tom every day. And she had. And then Georgia S tried to gaslight her to say I hadn't. How are you going to tell are you going to tell Molly that she didn't see what she saw? How are you going to tell Molly she didn't see you pulling Tom left, right and centre, especially as Callum and everybody else within the villa noticed it? That was gaslight number 1. Like, full-on gaslight number 1. Then, Molly tells her, it's not Molly, Georgia S specifically asked, well, what did Tom say? And Molly tells her what Tom said in regards to the flirting and the fact that she told Tom she wasn't sure on who she really liked, whether it be Tom or Callum. And basically, she said, that's true, I just didn't know then. And all Molly is saying that all she wanted was a heads up. All you had to do was give her some grace, come and talk to her and let her know you was interested in Tom. But Georgia S is trying to play it like she was never interested in Tom and she didn't say the shit that she said to Tom. That's how Georgia S is trying to play it. So then when Molly says, well, I feel like I've been taken for a bit of a mug, this is when the placating side of Georgia S comes out and is like, no. I'm just like, again, you took her ex. You took her ex, my girl, and you could not give her the free reign and time to get to know Tom before you jumped on that man the instant he walked through the motherfucking door. Like the instant. And that's how you know Georgia S is not a girl's girl. So now you got Georgia S standing there saying that there was nothing to relate to Molly. And I'm just like, Georgia S, you are not a nice human being at all. You're full of bollocks. You literally trying to gaslight everybody into thinking that there was nothing for you to relate to Molly. At the end of the day, even if you were flirting with that guy, you still kept pulling him for chats because you were interested. Key words were, as you'd already agreed to, you didn't know whether you liked Callum or whether you liked Tom. So you were making that decision by talking to Tom consistently, but it'd already been noticed that you'd significantly pulled away from Callum during that time. You were hovering around Tom's arsehole. So yes, I'm sorry, Georgia S should have spoke to Molly in regards to what the fuck was going on, so Molly could have prepared herself for any type of shit at the end of the day. But no, you made Molly look like a dickhead. Both of them, Tom and Georgia S, make Molly look like a dickhead. You get to the daytime and you see Tom and Josh having a discussion, and this is where Tom's new lad mentality has just come to the forefront, because now he's trying to justify what him and Georgia S were doing, basically. So he's trying to minimize all the shit that they talked about and the shit that Georgia S was talking about with him, and basically talking about the fact that, you know, I'm a bombshell, so isn't that what? But no, Tom, no, you made a game plan for Molly. You made a game plan for Molly, and then you did shit behind her back, and you didn't give her no heads up. And the only reason why Tom gave her the heads up at that point was because Chris had already let the cat out of the bag with Callum. So he thought, let me get ahead of that before it hits Molly's ears at the end of the day. S continually throughout that day is minimising her bullshit. Callum is on it too. She's basically saying, oh, I like the way that Callum handled it. He didn't go full force at me. He didn't shout at me. And you know what? It actually kind of turned me on. Shut the up, Georgia S. Like, seriously, she's getting on my tits. She's getting on my nerves. Georgia S is getting on my nerves because she's so full of shit. And I really can't believe that Callum don't see it. Like, seriously don't see it. And I think he's blinded by the vision of lust. Like, he's thinking with his Johnson. So then there was text. Before the texting come in, basically, Hannah did tell the girls that she was kind of in a bad situation with the whole Tyler thing, and basically saying that the romanticness that she thought would happen is not coming, and like he doesn't give her the fanny flowers. So it's like, okay, it's whatever at that point. It is whatever at that point. At the end of the day, Hannah knows her mind, and she ain't gonna do things lightly. So then the text comes in, and basically they have an exclusive party, and it's called Vibe. And you know that when the villa gives you good things, there's usually a bad thing that runs alongside it at the end of the day. But as they were getting ready, I clocked Molly giving Georgia S the hella side eye. I mean, if that side eye could talk, it would say, bitch, I'll slit your throat if you come near me. That's what that side eye would say. And I'm not disclaimer, I'm not saying that will happen. But that side eye was strong. It was hella strong. It had the force of the Jedi behind it, to be fair. So all I saw is, I know there's going to be drama. There's going to be drama somewhere when it comes to Club Vibe. You hear the sideline chats between Tom and someone. You hear the sideline chats with Callum and Georgia S. And basically what Georgia S is now trying to do is make it that Molly is sore because of the situation that's occurring between Georgia S and Callum. Georgia S is trying to paint this story that Molly's had a problem with her from the time she decided to get to know Callum, and that it's kind of working in succession with them. Gaslighting 101. Episode 2, that was. And Callum actually believed the shit that Georgia S was peddling. And this is it. So when Molly pulls Georgia S for a chat, yeah, they had the niceties. You know it was false niceties. And then the chat just went in. Basically, Molly said she wanted to be kept in the loop. And then that's when Georgia S turned around and said, and to be honest, Molly, I feel like since me and Callum became a thing, you definitely did retract from me. Molly was honest with it. She said, yes, I did, because she wanted to pull back and give them that space and time to get to know each other, which is what she did. So Georgia S is now trying to spin that shit like a record motherfucking machine, man. I ain't seen spinning like this in a long time. So then Georgia S was trying to say to Molly, well, since me and Callum were this is now what's happening with you. And Molly was like, yeah, no, I disagree. I disagree. And it had nothing to do with Callum. And she says, you take Callum out of that equation, it's got nothing to do with Callum. It's the fact that you, Georgia S, are not a girl's girl, because you are missing the point, is what Molly was saying to her. Georgia S was missing the point, and she was missing it spectacularly, but it was done on purpose. Because Georgia S saw the point, but she weren't going to jump on that point, because if she did, then she's fucked things up with Callum. That's all that came down to. She fucked things up with Callum, because right now, Georgia S is trying to save face for the bullshit that she did, yeah? Because she knows Callum's taken to her lies, but she knows Molly ain't going to take to her lies, so she has to spin it another way to make Molly look bad and make her look like the innocent party. That's what Georgia S is doing right now. That is exactly what Georgia S is doing right now. So basically, Georgia S gets hella upset over the fact that Molly called her, Molly said she's not a girl's girl because she believes that she is. In which part are you a girl's girl, Georgia S? I'm still waiting for the answer, because from the behaviour that you displayed, you are not a girl's girl. You are sneaky shit. You are not a girl's girl in the slightest. So then it goes on, after Molly's not taking the shit that Georgia S is saying, she fully doubles down and starts to gaslight the fuck out of Molly. And I was just like, whoo. I really hope they have that award ceremony, you know, when they do all the videotapes and all this, that and the other, and they roll that shit back. Like, seriously, they would need to roll that shit back. So then people will see in real time what the fuck went on between Georgia S and Tom, and that it was all Georgia S. And she's playing a good one at the moment. She's wreaking all the sympathy that she's trying to get, because I think she goes off to the other two girls. I think she has a good relationship with Georgia H and Arabella, because they don't see through the bullshit. And she's literally sitting there trying to say that Molly literally painted this picture that Molly had an issue with her, and that she's upset that she's called Georgia S not a girl's girl, but believing that Molly, trying to get them to believe that Molly had an issue with her from the day that she stepped foot and decided to have sights on Callum. Jesus. I'm just like, the lengths some people will go to hide the nefariousness that they've been dealing with. Like, the lengths, absolute lengths Georgia S is going to. Oh, yeah. I'm just like, that watch was, because I was getting angrier and angrier at the minute on the behalf of Molly. Like, seriously, and I'm like, can nobody see the shit that Georgia S is doing? Like, literally, are you all that starstruck by this dibby bit of a gal that you cannot see the fucking lies that she's spinning right now? And this is where I said, you know what? It's time for Tom to open up his mouth and actually say, you know what? This is what happened, and defend Molly in this way. Like, literally just bring the shit out. But do you think he does? No, he fucking doesn't. So it comes to the night time, and it's the wind down of the party, and basically you got Sophie telling Josh that she needs to go and have a chat with Chris. And I'm like, Sophie, you need to hold off on that, because Josh is definitely going to do you over. But hey ho, that's the rules of the villa. So you got Molly and Tom having their conversation, because at first she was angry with him. So now he's getting his cuddles back bit by bit with Molly. And then you got Georgia S again, chatting her shit with Callum. And basically she nearly landed herself in it. And this is what I say, Callum, why are you not asking the right questions right now? Because she turned around and she says to Callum that Molly said to her that I've told Tom that I would rather be coupled up with Cal than I would rather be coupled up with Tom than with Callum. So Callum directly asked Georgia S, did them words leave your mouth? What does Georgia S say? Girl says, I can't remember. You know what? She can't be sneaky with Tom no more. She can't do it. She just shut herself off to that avenue, didn't she, with her behaviour? But I'm just like, all I can think of is how do you get over the fact that somebody asks you a direct question? Did them words leave your mouth? And you say, I can't remember, but yet they still accept it. She must have some magic something that she's sprinkling all over this man, because boy, he can't see the wood through the motherfucking trees right now. Tyler's told the boys all about Hannah, because Hannah did, within the vibe party, tell Tyler that she doesn't think that it's going to go anywhere with them two, and she was quite honest in regards to that she doesn't have that sexual connection with him that she thought she would have, and basically is just about a friendship thing at the moment. I don't think Tyler was too happy with that, but hey ho. And then in comes Maya. And you know what happens when Maya comes in? Shit's about to hit the fan and get real for these people pretty quickly. So what happens is they all had to stand in the couples. She explains to them that the public had voted, but they needed to line up in this order. So it was Molly and Tom first, Georgia S and Callum second, Hannah and Tyler third, Georgia H and Anton fourth, Kaz and Chris fifth, Sophie and Josh sixth, Arabella and Toby sixth, and Lib and Mitch seventh. So it was explained that the order that they lined up in is because it's the five couple of the standing of how the public voted. Yeah, this is with Georgia S and Callum. Let's just say this was before all the shit happened. Like, yeah, this was before all the shit happened, because guaranteed, if the shit happened before the public voted, they'll probably be at the bottom. That's all I'm going to say. They'll probably be at the motherfucking bottom, because it'd be Georgia S that would fucking send Callum home. Anyway, so Molly and Tom were the most favourite, and Libby and Mitch were the least favourite. So their time, for them, gone. They were out, had to leave. Everybody was shocked. Kaz, most importantly, because she was really good friends with Libby, and Chris was there for her again. Shocked the hell out of everybody. And Maya did explain that 2 more islanders would be leaving that night, but the decision will be down to them. And that's where it ends, but we do see a clip of the incoming episode where we know that 2 new bombshells are coming in as well. So as I always say, my renegades, I'll be back very soon with the next episode. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so you know I'm going to do videos. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Peace out.